The last thing we need to talk about is something called a permutation, and the notation for a permutation is something that looks like this. For example, this would represent the permutation of 7 items taken 4 at a time, or we also could write it like this, 7 items taken 4 at a time. This, in fact, the right-hand one, this right over here, happens to be on your calculator. If you go to Math Prob, you will see, I think it's the third item down. But we can also do this by hand. And the formula for a permutation of n items taken r at a time is n factorial over n minus r factorial. So if we were going to do the permutation of 7 items taken 4 at a time, permutation of 7 items taken 4 at a time, well, that in fact would be 7 factorial over 7 minus 4 is 3, so 3 factorial, which would be easy to calculate. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial, all over 3 factorial. The 3 factorials cancel out, and we're just left with 42 times 20, or 840. If you were looking for something like the permutation of, let's say, 5 items taken 5 at a time, well, that would be 5 factorial over 5 minus 5 is 0, so 0 factorial, which is just 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 0 factorial is just 1, so this becomes 20 times 6, or 120. If you were looking for something like this, you had, let's go back to a problem you had earlier, 10 runners, and you're looking for the number of ways we can find who comes in first, second, or third. We did this earlier just by thinking about the number of events that we would have. There are 10 possibilities for the first event, the person who comes in first, then 9, then 8 people left over to come in third. So that's just a product using the multiplication principle of 720. Or this is a classic permutation combination. We're looking for the permutation. We have 10 runners, and we're looking to rank the first 3 of them. So that's going to be 10 factorial over 7 factorial, which again is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial over 7 factorial, which is exactly what we had gotten earlier.